Okay, we're with James Powers, and you are running for
Volusia County Sheriff.
And how do they look up your website or Facebook or whatever you're
FearlessRepublican.com or James Powers for Volusia County Sheriff on Facebook.
Okay.
Best way to get a hold of me is FearlessRepublican.com.
Okay, so you're running against Chitwood, who is the sheriff of Volusia County.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna say it, he's a Democrat. He blames Trump for January 6th. He says police officers died that day, and he blames Trump for it. He sounds like Kamala Harris to me. So and he said that he doesn't like Trump supporters.
Mike Chitwood is criticizing the president's handling of the Capitol riot and called him out on his lack of response and respect to law enforcement. Sheriff Mike Chitwood watched Wednesday's riot at the U.S. Capitol and got angry. 2 days later, the one-time supporter of President Trump tweeted his frustrations. He said, "How is it that after 24 hours, our law and order president still hasn't said a word in honor of a fallen police officer? Where is President Trump, supposedly the world's biggest supporter of LEOs, after his lies incited a mob attack that cost Officer Sicknick and 4 others their lives?" Chitwood continued with a 6-tweet thread that reads, "Mr. President, have you called Officer Sicknick's family to express your condolences? Have you called the families of the others you summoned to Washington? As I see more and more video footage from the violent mob attack on our nation's capital, it's clear that President Trump and his enablers care less about law and order than they do about exploiting the anger of so many followers who have been misled and radicalized by lies." It continues. Molotov cocktails, homemade napalm, a rifle, other guns and ammo, pipe bombs, zip ties, baseball bats, a gallows with a noose. These were all present at the protest that Donald Trump inspired and incited. Chitwood then turned the criticism toward himself, saying, "Shame on me for ever believing Trump was a friend to law enforcement. He is a friend to one person only, Donald Trump. He has exploited police. I was wrong to ever sign on in support of him." Sheriff Chitwood ended his thread by tweeting a quote from Nazi propagandist Joseph Goebbels. That quote reads, "If you tell a lie big enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it."
I don't know if the people of Volusia County know that their sheriff doesn't like Trump and doesn't support Trump. So he supports Kamala. So that's crazy to me.
Basically, that's why I'm in the race, man.
Yeah.
We need more people that are going to stick up for our constitutional values, our constitutional rights, and want to get America back to where it is. People like you are an inspiration, Jeff. I have to tell you that. Like, you're literally, with the things you do, the message you're putting out, what I'm trying to do is, I'm hitting for the fences.
Yeah.
We're going to get this guy out of office. We're going to become a democracy, a republic, however you want to look at it, but we're all going to keep our rights again.
So you're guided by the Constitution?
100%.
Yeah.
That's why we're all standing out here right now, like, pan around. Look at this. I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah. We're what, less than 3 months out from the election. We maybe got 25 people show up to the Trump flag wave today. We got Kamala Harris supporters on the other side. They come out and counter protest us now. That's where Chitwood would be standing with those
100%.
Yeah.
Honestly, he wants to play both sides so badly.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd be at either side.
So you think he bashes Trump in order to get Democrats to vote for him?
There is emails out there that could be being shared here in the recent future.
So he's wishy-washy at best.
It's what I always like to say, Jeff, is it's a lot of our local politicians, what they want to do is they want to sit here and they want to post and they want to talk about the hottest new trend on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
What we need to worry about is our community and our citizens, not what legislators are doing, not what the media is doing. We need to worry about what's actually happening in our community on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to do when I come, I will become sheriff. And we're going to change stuff, and we're going to, when I'm done with it, the Kamala supporters are going to be over here with us. Everybody's going to want, just freedoms. You know what I mean? There's not going to be this diversity.
I don't know if the Kamala Harris people appreciate the freedom as much as we do.
Well,
they want government to govern them harder. I think is what they want, but.
And they might not like me for that, but that's not what I want to do. What I want to do once I'm in office is I want to just we need less government. We can cut everything by 50. Mm-hmm. We need to cut the sheriff's budget. We need to stop the RPOs. We got to start enforcing illegal immigration here in our county. Mm-hmm. Without those things, we're never going to have a change, man. I mean, like I told you.
Does a local sheriff have the power to Detain illegal immigrants?
100%. 100%. As a constitutional sheriff, he has the right to basically enforce constitutional laws, which I'm not saying I'm not. There's still going to be law and order. You still got to have a driver's license. You still got to, you know, you still have to have law and order. But the problem is a lot of our laws are being enforced for financial gain by legislation, not for actually your safety.
Is there anything a sheriff can do to make sure illegals aren't voting in our elections here?
They can get more involved with the SOE, and I will say our SOE, Lisa Lewis, here in Volusia County, is great. Like, I've never been involved with her until I got on the election.
You have to prove that you're a citizen in order to vote here in Florida. You have to show a driver's license.
You're supposed to, yeah.
26 states in our country don't ask you for a driver's license.
California, Massachusetts are two of them just off the top of my head.
26 states.
Yeah, it's
that's more than half of the states in our country doesn't ask. They don't care if you're an illegal or not.
And that's where with you know we have to work on the immigration here locally. Everything starts local. That's what people aren't understanding. I mean, I think you understand it, or you wouldn't be standing here right now.
Yeah. I want them all deported. That's just me. I want them to come here legally. I don't want them just crossing the border like Joe and Kamala let them do. They say 11 million, but if the government says 11 million, it must be double that. It must be 22 million.
Or more.
Because they never ever tell us the truth.
Or more.
Yeah.
The
people don't trust the government anymore.
And that's where I want to come in as a constitutional sheriff. We're never going to change our government unless we start locally. We get people in office here that are actually going to fight the government.
You can't fix it from the top
down.
You got to fix it from the bottom up.
Exactly. And that's the sheriff is part of the executive branch, so he has a lot more control than he wants to. I'm not going to be a politician. I'm not going to work for the politician. I'm not going to work for the legislation. I'm not going to work for the government. I'm here to work for you, Jeff, for everyone that's standing out here. And I don't care if you're on that side of the road or this side of the road.
Yeah.
I want everyone's constitutional rights.
Sheriff, yeah.
I want everyone's constitutional rights to just.
You don't want to be a
one
politician.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You want to be neutral.
Exactly.
You just want law and order.
100%.
That's all we want too, law and order.
But I also don't want to violate people's rights by enforcing the law. That's where it gets to be very shady.
When you enforce it one way.
Yeah, like, I'm sure you saw the special event zones they do here in Volusia County. Where say if you have more than 50 people, like say you...
Oh, at an event?
Yeah, and they won't give you a permit. Well, then all of a sudden they double all the tickets in that area. And I've talked to city commissioners. And I'm like, how is the city allowing special event zones put on by the county to enforce this ridiculous law?
Yeah.
And you know what they told me? It's a money grab.
Oh, that's not good.
So, there's lots of things that need changed, and, we can't start changing them until we have people in office that actually respect our country and respect America and respect our constitutional rights.
Right. All right, James. Well, hey, man, anytime you show up to the flag wave, I'll give you a couple minutes and we'll post a video.
I appreciate it, brother.
All right. Peace.
Thanks, bud.
All right.